Good evening, this is Swastika Panda from OdishaTV.in bringing you today's news from Odisha. First, the headlines. Mortal remains of former Chief Minister Janaki Patnaik consigned to flames at Swargadwar in Puri today. Messages poured in from eminent leaders across the nation, including the President and the Prime Minister, condoling the demise of the Congress veteran. In a setback to Reliance Intra, Appellate Tribunal dismisses its interim plea challenging revocation of licenses of its discoms by OERC. Taking up Odisha's case in Lok Sabha, BJD MP Bajrang Panda says the state is bearing the brunt of pollution on account of thermal power generation. And expert committee visiting Hirakud to assess the requirement of a spillway has thrown up questions over the need for such a measure. Now the details. The last rites of former Odisha Chief Minister and octogenarian Congress leader Janaki Patnaik were performed at Swargadwar in Puri this afternoon. His body was kept in Congress Bhavan in Bhubaneswar for the public to pay their last respect to the departed soul. Later, his body was taken to his native village Rameshwar in Khurda district and then to Puri for cremation. His mortal remains were flown to his Bhubaneswar residence last afternoon. Patnaik, who died in Tirupati last morning, is survived by his wife Jayanti, son Prithvi Ballav and two daughters Siddhartha and Supriya. Patnaik had gone to Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh on Monday in a special flight to attend the convocation of Rashtriya Sanskrit University as the chief guest. However, he complained of chest pain around midnight and was admitted to a hospital where he breathed his last at 3 a.m. following a massive cardiac arrest. Three-time Chief Minister J.B. Patnaik, who passed away yesterday at an age of 89, wore many hats with elan. A crafty politician, scholar, literator and journalist, Patnaik was a key figure in Odisha's political and literary landscape for over 4 decades. Hailing from a humble background, Patnaik not only proved his abilities in politics as a union minister, three-time chief minister and a governor, but also displayed his versatility by excelling in literature, journalism and culture. Indoctrinated into politics soon after completing his education, Patnaik was at the center of political activities in the state even when Congress was out of power, though his family had no links with politics. The Congress stalwart became chief minister first in 1980 and continued in the office till 1989. He bounced back to power in 1995 and remained chief minister till 1999. However, his stint as CM was highly controversial and marred by many scandals. While Patnaik's period was described as golden age by his loyalists, who claimed the state made all-round progress during his 14 years rule, he was criticized for several scandals during his tenure, including the infamous Chabirani murder case of mid-80s. He was appointed the governor of Assam in 2009. Besides his political career, Patnaik was an eminent literator and won many literary awards. He won Kendriya Sahitya Akademi for his Odia translation of Bankim Chandra's novel titled Bankim Chandra Upanyas Mala in 2001 and Odisha Sahitya Akademi Award for Bairagya Shataka, a translation of Bhartruhari's celebrated Sanskrit work in 1996. Patnaik had translated the Mahabharata, the Ramayana and the Srimad Bhagavad Gita into Odia. He also wrote books on Sindhu Upatyaka and Gautam Buddha. Born on 3rd January 1927 in Rameshwar village near Khurda, Patnaik graduated in Sanskrit from Utkal University in 1947 and got his master's degree in political science from Banaras Hindu University in 1949. He was the editor of English daily Eastern Times and later of Odia daily Prajatantra before publishing monthly journal Paurusha in 1967. Patnaik was elected to Lok Sabha in 1971 and became a Deputy Minister of Defence under Indira Gandhi from 1973 to 1975 and then Minister of State for Defence till 1980. He was again elected to Lok Sabha in January 1980 and became Union Minister for Tourism, Civil Aviation and Labour. Later that year, he became the Chief Minister of Odisha. President Pranab Mukherjee has condoled Patnaik's demise by saying the nation has lost an eminent leader whose service will be always remembered. Mukherjee said, as a Chief Minister, Union Minister and Governor, Patnaik had made immense contribution for the welfare and development of the people. In his condolence message to Patnaik's wife Jayanti, the President said he was saddened to learn about the passing away of Patnaik, a friend and colleague of long years. Condoling the loss, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he would be remembered as a pillar of Odisha politics and a popular leader always connected with people's views and aspirations. Terming Patnaik as an institution in himself, Odisha Chief Minister Navin Patnaik said the leader withstood the test of time in politics. Stating that it is a huge loss to the state, the CM said he was a great figure in Odisha politics, known for his political acumen and administrative ability. While highlighting Patnaik's profound knowledge in range of subjects like art, culture, tradition and literature, he said the veteran politician was a scholar as well as an acclaimed journalist. During his tenure as the governor of Assam, J.B. Patnaik played a key role in strengthening cultural ties between Odisha and Assam. What is most significant is that he remained relevant in public life till his last breath, the Chief Minister said, adding, his death marks the end of an era in Odisha politics. Congress President Sonia Gandhi also condoled the demise. In her message, she said, the late leader spent decades in the service of people and added he remained a congressman till the end and his absence will be felt in the years to come. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee too condoled Patnaik's death. Banerjee posted on Twitter, saddened to hear J.B. Patnaik passed away. I knew him well. In my early career, whenever I visited Odisha, he was generous with his time.
मुझे बहुत ही अफसोस है और बहुत ही दुख पहुंचा है जेबी पटनायक जी के निधन पर। ये ऐसा सोच भी नहीं सकते थे, वो बहुत अभी एक्टिव थे और ये खबर सुनकर मुझे भी, हमारी पार्टी को भी, हमारे कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी को और उपाध्यक्ष श्री राहुल गांधी जी को, उनको भी बहुत अफसोस हुआ।
देखिए, वल्लभ पटनायक जी एक टावरिंग पर्सनालिटी है, केवल उड़ीसा का नहीं है, पूरा देश में, पार्लियामेंट में और केंद्र सरकार में इसका जो देन है पूरा लोग आज भी याद करते हैं।
In a major setback to Reliance Infrastructure Limited, the Appellate Tribunal for Electricity has dismissed its interim application challenging the revocation of its licenses by Odisha Electricity Regulatory Commission. Under the provisions of Odisha Electricity Act, the three private distribution companies had moved the tribunal against the revocations. However, the tribunal has dismissed their interim plea, informed Reliance Counsel Ritvik Panda. The OERC on March 5th revoked the licenses of the three power discoms Southco, Westco and Nesco managed by the company. The commission cited unsatisfactory performance, non-compliance of its orders, poor energy audit, failure in controlling technical and commercial losses, billing inefficiency and non-payment of arrears as the reasons behind scrapping of their licenses. The OERC later appointed the CMD of RIDCO as the administrator of these companies.
अंडर धारा 19 सेक्शन हिसाब से ओडिशा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एक्ट रे तीन प्राइवेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनी मानकर लाइसेंस को रद्द करते ता उपरे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन लाइसेंस माने इटी अपील ट्रिब्यूनल ले अपील करथिले। आज से इंटरिम जो एप्लिकेशन थिला ताको माननीय ट्रिब्यूनल आज डिसमिस करिसंती।
Odisha is bearing the brunt of pollution on account of thermal power generation, which is also being supplied to other states. These concerns were raised by BJD Member of Parliament from Kendrapada by Jayant Panda during a discussion in Lok Sabha. Panda highlighted the fact that ash produced from burning of coal to produce electricity is posing a serious threat to the environment of the state. Odisha should be given due attention and necessary steps should be taken for environment protection, he said. Panda urged that Odisha should be included in the second of the two World Bank sponsored programs where states are only allowed to bear 15% of the cost. Moreover, terming Rs 805 crore earmarked for the Clean Energy Fund as inadequate, he demanded the allocation to be enhanced. Replying on behalf of the Environment Minister, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju said, work has begun in 2 out of 3 projects in Odisha meant for the purpose and the other one will commence soon.
Coal is going from our states. Coal is going from Odisha, Jharkhand and these states. Power is being generated and transmitted to other states. We are being left with a lot of pollution because Indian coal has high ash content. So I would urge the Honorable Minister to assure the House that those states which have an extra burden from these sources like coal ash be urgently included in this second program, which is a little easier on the state government's exchequer, requiring only 15% input. States like Odisha, Jharkhand, etc. are in dire need.
And in Odisha also there are 2 projects being identified, 3 projects being identified, and 2 of the projects are already completed with the awarding of the works, and the DPR is under process, and there is one retendering process going on. But the ministry is very, very mindful of the importance of this subject to deal with it, and the government is committed to that.
Odisha Tourism and Culture Minister Ashok Chandra Panda has requested the centre to set up a Tagore Cultural Complex, Odissi Dance Museum at Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra Odissi Research Centre, and also an international museum at Sri Jagannath Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya in Puri. He also urged the centre to facilitate international air connectivity to Bhubaneswar in order to boost tourism sector in the state. He further requested Union Minister of the State for Culture and Tourism, Mahesh Sharma, to initiate steps for branding the Nabakalebar festival scheduled to be held in July this year at Puri, and release of ₹8 crore for 8 projects in the state. Panda also urged inclusion of places and Buddhist interests in the state in the Swadesh Darshan plan by the centre. Meeting Sharma and Union Civil Aviation Minister Ashok Gajapati Raju in New Delhi yesterday, Panda said, though Bhubaneswar was declared an international airport in 2013, the centre is yet to facilitate international flight operations from the airport, which is eventually hampering the state's tourism industry. He urged extension of Mumbai-Dubai Air India flight to Bhubaneswar and allowing other flight operators to start commercial operations from the airport. Airport Authority of India Chairman R.K. Srivastava today met Odisha Chief Secretary G.C. Pati at Biju Patnaik International Airport in Bhubaneswar and held discussions on land acquisition related matters for various airports in the state. Among others, AAI Member of Operations G.K. Chaukia and its Kolkata-based Regional Executive Director were also present during the discussion. According to sources, after discussion with Chief Secretary, Srivastava left for Jharsuguda to review the progress and preparation of work for functioning of the airport there.
ଝାରସୁଗୁଡ଼ା ବିମାନବନ୍ଦରଟା ଶୀଘ୍ର ହେବ ସେଇଟା ତାଙ୍କର କେତେ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ଥିଲା ଆଉ କେତେ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଇସ୍ୟୁ ଅଛି ସେ ନିଜେ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମର ବି ଅଫିସର ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ଯିଏ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ ଯିଏ ବି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି ଯାହା ତାଙ୍କର ଲୋକାଲ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ଅଛି ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ପାଇଁ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ତ ସବୁ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଓଭର କରାହେଇଛି ତାଙ୍କର ବାଉଣ୍ଡରୀ ୱାଲ୍ ତିଆରି ଚାଲିଛି ଅନ୍ୟ ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ କାମ ତିଆରି ହେଉଛି ବାକି କେତେ ଆଉ ଅଧିକା କେତେ 12 ଏକର ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ତାଙ୍କୁ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଓଭର କରିବାର ଅଛି ସେଇଟା ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଓଭର ହେବ ତେଣୁ ସେ ଶୀଘ୍ର ସେଇଟା ଯେମିତି ସରିବ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ କହିଛି.
Visit of purpose was to see the Jharsuguda airport, and we want to start the work immediately so that this airport is developed. There were some small land issues. Already work is going on. We want to fast track.
So what about the international operation from Bhubaneswar airport?
That airline has to take, they have to be motivated. Already my regional airport director, he has been talking to different airlines, and we are trying to persuade them.
At least 6 coaches of 2 Rajdhani Express trains were damaged in a fire that broke out at the New Delhi railway station yard yesterday. At least 2 coaches of Bhubaneswar New Delhi Rajdhani Express and 4 of Shialda New Delhi Rajdhani Express were damaged in the fire. However, no casualty has been reported so far. Officials said the trains were idling at the yard. After dropping off their passengers, the trains were halted at the yard near the washing line and were being readied for their return journey. 19 fire tenders were pressed into service after a call was received from the railway station at noon. An inquiry has been initiated into the incident, they added.
इसमें ये वॉशिंग लाइन होती है जो कोचेस के मेंटेनेंस के लिए होती है. इसमें हमारे 2 कोचेस के रेक खड़े थे जिसमें एक भुवनेश्वर राजधानी के 2 कोचेस में आग लगी थी. शुरुआत जो हुई थी फर्स्ट एसी से हुई थी और साथ में उसका सेकंड एसी भी जला था और उसी के साथ वाली लाइन में सियालदा राजधानी थी जिसके 4 कोचेस ने आग पकड़ी थी. नहीं, कोई कैजुअलिटी नहीं हुई है. इसमें सिर्फ जो कोचेस है उसमें नुकसान हुआ है और वो असेस करा जाएगा.
After the visit of an experts committee to Hirakud to assess the requirement of a spillway, the need for such a measure has become the moot question. According to dam authorities, additional spillway will be constructed for release of increased amount of flood waters to ensure the dam's longevity. Taking note of the massive siltation and other related issues in the reservoir, where cracks have appeared due to lack of proper maintenance, the authorities had planned to construct more spillways. Officials said while the tender process for the spillways would begin in a few months, construction would start from the current fiscal. The cracks and holes near the spillways of the main dam were noticed during an underwater survey of the dam in 2002-03. The dam authorities had later carried out repair of some of these cracks. While the dam earlier had the provision of gross discharge of 15 lakh cusecs of water from the spillways in 1957, considering the present situation and future of the dam, provisions for the release of 24 lakh cusecs of water has been planned, sources said.
যদি মানে 69,000 cubic meter flood water আসিব তাহলে what do we do, how do we store it, how do you safely manage the dam, ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ ଆଖିରେ ରଖି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ କିଛି ସେଇ ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ କମିଟି ଏକ୍ସପର୍ଟ କମିଟି କିଛି ଆଡ଼ିସନାଲ ସଜେସନ୍ ଦେଉଛନ୍ତି। ସେମାନେ 7-8 ପ୍ରକାରର ଅପସନ୍ ଦେଇଥିଲେ, ତା ଭିତରୁ ଏବେ କିଛି ଅପସନ୍ ସେମାନେ କଂକ୍ରିଟାଇଜ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି, ଯେଉଁଥିରେ କି ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଡ଼ିସନାଲ ସ୍ପିଲୱେ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା କରିବା ପାଇଁ କହୁଛନ୍ତି।
In a bid to conduct an error-free evaluation of matric examination papers, the Board of Secondary Education is leaving no stones unturned. The board has started scanning of OMR answer sheets for the second time. First, the answer sheets images are being scanned by special software and given score key. Later, they are again checked by teachers to avoid any error. The board's director said all preparations are at their last stage and the board is keeping a hawk eye on the process during the scanning. The Daru or holy wood meant for making the idol of Lord Sudarshan today resumed its journey towards Puri after a night's rest at the Bata Mahavir temple in Pipili. Yesterday, the wood was taken by a sagadi or specially made cart to Puri from Gadakuntunia village, a village on the outskirts of Bhubaneswar. Thousands of devotees gathered at the site to have a glimpse of the neem tree, and Daitapatis were seen performing rituals before carrying the Daru in the sagadi. People of Gadakuntunia gathered in large numbers to bid adieu to the holy tree after a week-long ritual. Meanwhile, the Agyamala from the location of Lord Sudarshan Daru has been taken to Sharala Shrine at Kakatpur in Jagatsinghpur district, where the Daru of Lord Balabhadra has been identified. The Banajagajatra team will conduct Ankura Ropana and will give a holy bath to the neem tree with 108 pots of water. As per tradition, Surya Puja and Varuna Puja will also be conducted ahead of tomorrow's Yagya. The Yagya will continue till Friday, when Purnahuti will mark its conclusion. Then the felling of the neem tree chosen to be the Daru of Lord Balabhadra will commence. Meanwhile, after Gadakuntunia, the shrine at Jhankoda Sarala has turned into a major pilgrim center, with flow of devotees constantly rising to get a glimpse of the holy tree. Before wrapping up the headlines once again, mortal remains of former Chief Minister Janaki Vallabh Patnaik consigned to flames at Swargadwar in Puri today. Messages poured in from eminent leaders across the nation, including the President and the Prime Minister, condoling the demise of the Congress veteran. In a setback to Reliance Intra, Appellate Tribunal dismisses its interim plea challenging revocation of licenses of its discoms by OARC. Taking up Odisha's case in Lok Sabha, BJD MP Bajrang Panda says the state is bearing the brunt of pollution on account of thermal power generation. And expert committee visiting Hirakud to assess the requirement of a spillway has thrown up questions over the need for such a measure. Thank you for watching. Good night.